hustle. Look, let's put some money up, you can't make mine stop. I'm hot, nigga, like a pistol off the dime block. Before you change lanes, you should check your blind spot. Cause I'll be right there waiting like a bike cop with my non-cock. And I'm so hot, all a nigga really need is just one shot. To the dome, you be gone and it's no more. I could kill him going faster with the slow flow. However you want it, I got it in for the low. Come get it, I got it, you got it good, nigga, go. I hustle, I bang, I do it all for the dough. It's all for the dough.
How's it going, All for the Dough show? Today's episode is how do you discipline children these days? Do you hit them? Do you tap them on the hand? Do you put them in timeout? Do you take stuff away? So right now we have Tracy, and she's gonna let us know what she might do or what she thinks. So what do you have for us, Tracy?
I actually did daycare for 31 years.
Oh.
So I had a variety of approaches, but I'm not super big on this real gentle parenting thing where kids can choose everything and they can pretty much tell you what to do.
Yeah.
You can't be their friend, you're their parent. So you can give them choices and give them options, but not too many options, and let them choose. But if it comes straight down to discipline and they need to be disciplined, timeout under a certain age isn't going to work. And if you use it too often, it isn't going to work.
Okay.
And I'm not ashamed to say that I've spanked my kids a couple of times. They're in their 30s and they didn't die for it.
And they're fine, huh?
They're fine. They didn't die. I grew up that way. I'm not advocating saying beat your children, but...
Well, I think people they should know a difference between beating and a whooping.
Right. Like, now, I remember the first time my daughter kept going for the oven. And I moved her away several times. And finally, I just swatted her on about one time, and she knew we're not doing that anymore.
Exactly. I had to give her one good wallow.
That's it. She didn't do it ever again. So, yeah.
And see, and most parents let you go on and touch it and burn yourself and be like, yeah, you ain't gonna touch it again, is you? You know.
Pardon me?
I said some parents will go ahead, they discipline, like they'll let you go on and touch it and let them burn themselves and say, hot.
No, that's hot. They need to know that they can trust you too, so that you're going to keep them safe, but you're not going to beat them to death or anything either. But
and I think people get, when you say I whoop them, I think they get the word whooping confused with beating.
Yeah, that's
now whooping is on your bum, you know what I'm saying, with a belt or whatever. Yeah. And normally it was a belt because you had pants on.
Right.
So you sometimes they hit you with your hand up to a certain age and you'll feel it.
Yep.
But as you got a little older, that hand was hurting your parents, and that hand you really wasn't hurting you none.
Yep.
So that's when they came out with the belt.
Yep. And a lot of kids have diapers. So I know kids in diapers up till 4 or 5 years old now. So they, if they've got that extra padding on too, they're not really, you're just giving them a little shock. Like, okay, I need to pay attention here. Yeah. So.
And the thing is, back in the days if you did get hit on your backside or your legs, that's because you was moving when you was getting that whooping.
That's right.
Because you be like, and you put your hand back there,
and then your hand got away.
And that's how you got hit on your back, your side, your leg.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That wasn't a beating. That just means you supposed to stand there, get hit in the butt, take it, and then go sit down.
Yeah. And kids now say no to parents so much nowadays. I wouldn't have dreamed of saying no to my parents. And I don't care what they ask.
Or back talking. The only time you back talk is when he or she says something and you go in the other room and you mumble stuff like, what? Shut up. Shut your ass up.
And then they probably heard
Shut
you.
Up. Then they be like, what you say? I ain't say nothing.
Yep, nope, not a thing.
Yeah, I ain't say nothing at all.
Yep.
That's what we did. But now kids, they kind of say what they want. And
if I'd have dared said no to my parents, I probably would have hit a wall.
Man, you and me both.
Yeah, it never entered my mind to even think of saying no. And kids now, they're just like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. What?
And
Excuse me?
As I got older, being a young man and just being me and my mom, she, one time I kind of raised up at her like I thought I was bad. Man, she grabbed that broomstick. She said, if you ever raise up at me again, she said, I'll beat the hell out of you. Then she put that down and proceeded to go upstairs and got her gun. And she said, then after I beat you with this stick, She said, believe me, I will shoot you.
And you knew she was serious.
Yeah, she was serious.
Yeah, she was serious.
Yeah, she was like, I'll be damn if you gonna put your hands on me.
Yeah.
She said, I'm not that type of mother where you gonna put your hands on me.
No, I never would have dreamed of.
From there, I was like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
I was like, I definitely got it.
Yeah, and you respect people and treat right.
I like she pulling out brooms and sticks. I like you had me when you pull out the stick. What did you bring the gun out for?
Right.
You really got me scared. Now I am.
Yeah.
So what about? Because you said it. After you keep telling them 6-7 times.
It's time to, you can redirect them, and sometimes that works, but sometimes they just don't get it. They've got one thing in their mind,
and
they're going to do it, and you've got to stop them.
Yeah.
I mean, timeout works to a point, but basically
so what time?
you're giving yourself more of a timeout.
So what time should you start the timeout? What age?
Well, the state of Michigan actually says age 3, but I believe that they are smarter than that.
I don't think 3 is good.
Way before that, so.
You think they should be there about 2 years old in the corner?
Yeah, I mean, well, by 2 years old, you can set them down in a chair. I mean, if they're hurting themselves or they're ripping books up or they're, causing destruction or hurting other people, you can set them in a chair and just tell them, even if you have to sit with them, you're not moving, you're sitting here until you get yourself together.
Yeah, but then that's punishing the parent. I don't want to. I ain't in trouble.
That's the
Why should I sit down? I ain't in trouble.
It really, well, you can stick them in a high chair or a car seat, but I couldn't legally have done that in daycare, but
I just had to pop them.
Yeah.
God damn it! I ain't about to sit in no corner with you.
I know. Yeah.
2 years old, you go.
I know.
Because that 2-year-old, his mind span it'll be like this. As soon as you turn around, he turning around too. You be like, get in the corner.
Yeah. They get up.
20 seconds later, he gone.
Yeah. They don't remember. The thing is too, they do not remember from 2 minutes later what they're even there for.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
when they're a little older, you expect them to, and they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you expect them to, and they know.
Yeah.
So, but when they're kind of that little, they forget what they did really fast. But
yeah, they do.
I still don't. I had a lot of parents that would pick up kids at the end of the day, and they would not discipline them at all. And kids were always the worst at the end of the day.
Yeah.
When parents came to pick them up, they were totally fine for me all day. But as soon as the parents came, they wouldn't get their coat on, their shoes on, they're hitting their parents,
But
they're throwing things, they want McDonald's.
Do you think some of the parents don't want to like act out in front of you because they're like, ooh, let me wait till I get in the car, because if I do this in front of her, then she gonna be like, hey, you shouldn't do that, or I'm gonna have to call.
I would think that was some of them, but a lot of them just try to reason with the child. You can't. You are their parent. You don't let them tell you what to do. You don't let them hit you. That's not okay. I don't care if you have to pull their arms tight so they're not hitting you or whatever. You tell them it's time to put our coat on. If they're not doing it, put it on for them or carry them to the car without it.
A good idea is when they start yelling, just pinch them. And nobody know what's happening. They just know the kid crying. Ah!
I did that with my daughter one time in Meyer because she was screaming.
Yeah.
And I heard her hand on the car, so I just squeezed it a little bit. And what does she do? She hollers out, "Why in the world are you pinching me?" And I was like,
she said
of course.
She said it instead of just crying.
She did.
I know you looking like I did not pinch you.
I know.
What are you talking about?
I did have one time when she was 2 and she didn't want to get into the car in Meyer. And she was throwing a fit and she had a snowsuit on and her diaper and everything else. I gave her a little swat on the butt.
She wasn't gonna feel that.
No, she was fighting me like crazy. She wasn't gonna get in the car. And so an older gentleman said to me, "Why are you spanking her?" And I'm like, I gave her one swat on the butt. She knows. Now she's sitting in the car, or in the cart. And he was like, "You are doing so much damage." I said, "Well, I can teach her now." I said, "Or when she's 16, I said, she's going to be a hellion." I said, "And then I'm not going to have any control at all, and I'm not going to be able to tell her anything."
You should have told him.
Yeah,
you should have told him, "Worry about your own damn kids."
Yeah, well, and my husband was walking away. He was not. I said, "You get back here." I said, because he was like, "Oh man, she's going to get into it," and I was like, "Oh, you're not going to tell me how to raise my kid."
Yeah, I like, hey, you need to go about your business, because soon as she do something that ain't supposed to be, what you're supposed to do on Murray Povich or something like that.
Yeah.
Then y'all talk, man, mama should have raised her better. I was trying to, but then y'all want to intervene and put y'all little 2 cents in. However you raise your kid is how you raise your kid. Every kid ain't the same.
No, they are definitely not.
Every kid ain't the same. And some people say, well, it all depends on where they was raised and this and that. I don't even think it got nothing to do with where they was raised. It's just some kids is
Some kids are definitely
yeah.
They are.
Where they just hard-headed.
They very much are.
You got rich kids that's hard-headed. You got poor kids that's just hard-headed. Just,
Yep.
I'm going to do it because I want to know. I'm going to do it because I want to do it. What's going to happen?
Yeah, and they will push it to every single limit.
Yeah.
Every single limit, every single time.
Yeah,
But you can't let them go past it and run over you, or you are never going to be able to get anywhere or teach that child anything.
So we're almost to your destination. Anybody you want to say hi or bye to?
Hi to Carson and Riker in Utah. Those are my grandkids.
Okay.
And my daughter Marika and Christopher.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on 3 we're gonna say deuces. 1, 2, 3.
Deuces.